Action. Fireful who are going to other people you don't know, this is D Burns, and today we're here for another episode of your favorite podcast, Shop Talk. And today we're at our hotel, and our hotel, our location sponsor for episode 6 of season 4. And you don't know, you can check us out every Sunday at 12 noon all over the place. iHeartRadio, Deezer, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, among every other podcast site. I say it every day, but I say it again. Like, follow, share in the YouTube, in the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, ShopTalkJa. I remember you can check it out as ShopTalkJa.buzzsprout.com. And today we have a very, very special episode. You see I'm fresh? You see I'm fresh? Cameraman, you catch Kingsley, catch our Kingsley fresh. Because Kingsley there, you know. And we have Brady, Owen Hill, my good bridge name there today too. But Brady, the blue thing. I don't understand the blue thing because this time I expect for blue because he used to go Georges, you understand? But the blue thing, I don't understand the blue thing because not the next side at street you round from.
Why switch it up?
Okay, so I know them rivalry, there are some strong rivalry.
I mean, every KC man is somebody wanting to be a Georges man.
You think so?
I'm not certain what you're talking about.
You think so?
Like,
alright.
If me go to old school at KC, me go still.
There you go.
You understand where I'm from?
You understand?
I understand what?
You don't really know the levels, the quality, you understand?
And you know the one thing we share, as a Glenmuir man, as a KC man, as a Georges man, me and you share the same founder. You understand where I'm from? But I think a year school him did go. I just that. You understand where I'm from?
Yeah.
But you understand?
Yeah,
Him
so
left your school. Yeah, no, but hold on, I know what you're going to say. You know what you're going to say. But him left your school and realized say yo, Jamaica needed greater schools. You understand where I'm from? And then he said Kingston College and
Some color like us.
You understand where I'm from?
No, he realized Jamaica needed schools as great. You understand? So, Georges, everybody else.
Alright,
You understand?
whatever you want. But to other people, whichever school you go, big up on yourself. But today we have a very, very, very special guest in the building. Mr. Carlton Brown, fashionista extraordinaire. Carlton, which high school you did go, by the way? May I ask that?
No, for me it was really primary to all age and then straight to heart. Based on everything happened. But you'll get to understand a lot as it goes.
Okay, cool vibes. No problem. So
but the family I grew up in is a KC family.
But it just show you how good Carlton is. Carlton skip levels like proper high school, more better than that.
Yeah.
London, my thing.
And you see, nevertheless, a KC thing say, you understand? So you identify with KC more than a George?
Easily.
Alright, cool. So Kingsley, big up yourself. The shirt, but same with you. Now, crowd of people, Carlton Brown has a passion for fashion. But as always, we have learned that people have many layers, and today we're going to get to know Carlton a little bit more. Carlton, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Kingsley, what you say? You want for Carlton?
No, I mean, theme stage is setting and like, if you come to Jamaica and you think classy suits, you think men's fashion, I think the name that will always come up in any circle is Carlton Brown. Right? You know, you need to get married. Carlton Brown, you need to graduate.
Carlton Brown.
You don't want to look fresh.
Carlton
Brown.
So
it's
them see? Yeah, zoom in on it. Yeah, zoom in on it. I'm not touch it. I'm not touch it.
Yeah, the thing is, you always look at the display.
Look, but don't touch the display. I learn, you know. You understand? I learn the fashion. So don't, so crowd of people, don't look at the display, but don't touch it. You understand? Because you don't want to style it. You understand? Because it's like I break it, you buy it, so you style it, you buy it. You understand me? So Carlton, tell us something.
How should I start now? Well, first of all, I must say, you know, I've been invited to a lot of different platforms, you know, just to talk and share, but you know, when I did my research and stuff, I think it was just a no-brainer, you know what I mean? But for me, I grew up in this thing they call foster care.
Yeah.
And foster care, for some people, is that you will know your family but them can't manage, so you go there.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know nobody, and you end up there. For my case, I know. So it's really growing up in the home I grew up in. There was a sewing machine there.
Yeah.
And I from age of 7, I'm a pang around the machine, and this is where I am today.
Pang means there was nobody around.
No,
And
And you just dead there and you just say, what is this?
yeah. No, the thing is that the lady who raised me, Miss Martha Wallace, her son is a sportswear designer. His friend, Rani, who's so her son called his name Rani.
Right.
Female name Rani, so you have Rani and Taylor Rani.
That's a distinguish.
You know what I mean? So with that now and then now, you have no Rani, you have a friend now who's also a tailor who named Wiggles. So it was really around that. So it was from dressmaking, I learned from dressmaker, I learned from a tailor, and also learned from a sportswear design.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's all of that comes
So
together.
the influence was there. It wasn't just a sewing
You
machine.
know what I mean? So I remember, I'll never forget it. I remember when 7, 8, you know what I mean? And I remember Mama said to me, say, if you want to learn to. So I said, yes, Mom, I read them say,
Yeah.
I string needle for about 2 years.
Yeah, as a printer, I was stringing
So
needle.
it was a string needle. So it was to the point when you got church camp and stuff and them have, egg and spoon race and needle.
Yeah,
and
man.
church.
Simple thing.
Me walk down,
Yeah.
string my needle and come back and
Oh,
still
yeah,
break the
say,
record.
The man a professional.
Expert string needle.
At 2 years. At 2 years. The man a practice for that.
You know what I
He's
mean?
like an Olympic. The man a practice for 2 years.
Yeah. So sometimes, and it's just by growing up doing all of that. So
Yeah.
with all of that, learning, growth, and development from just the grassroots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even when I went to Hart or Garmex, it was just to get papers really, because I was there waiting on people to finish. It's not a brag and boasting, because if I grew up around you, who is always sewing and stitching and doing all those things, that level of teaching,
Yeah.
you don't get in the classroom.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Ever.
You don't get that in the classroom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember, and it's funny enough, I end up teaching, to be honest.
Hold on, Carlton, hold on. More you take up on a timeline, right? So 7 years start, so you're at heart. What age is this now?
You know, I'm a teens, man.
Teens,
early,
alright.
yeah.
Take me through this
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So
Before
from
you
there,
get to teaching.
right.
Yeah.
So from there to now is that it really worked out where when I went to Heart Academy and did the 3-year course. It's funny. We started out with 51 students.
Yeah.
The one is me, only boy.
Yeah.
Oh, you were the
Everybody
only-
else was
Yeah,
women.
everybody else was women.
Wow.
After that 2-year run, it ended up to be 31.
So you were
Still one.
Still the one. That when graduation time and prize they give out, the only one
Yeah.
gets
Yeah.
everything.
stand
You know
out
what I
that
mean?
much.
But it's funny. It's funny she said it, because it's sometimes you have to love something,
Yeah.
You can like it, you cannot like it no more. You can love it, you can't love it no more. Once you have a passion. From that, I started working, doing stuff on my own and stuff. And I remember when I opened my first shop downtown, and at St. Andrew's Coskerk, that's the church I grew up in and stuff. And I remember when just being there, Dr. Reverend Gordon Cowan said to me, he's going to open a school and this. And I said, great, fine. 2-3 years passed. A teacher who was teaching there and stuff, she never came the day. Well, I don't know what happened. She wasn't well. So like for 2 days, she never turned up, or whatever the case is. So he asked me if I can sit in. And I said, boy, Rev, I'm depend on something there and this and that.
Yeah.
I sit in. And I sit in for 3 years.
Oh.
And this was at sewing school?
So in school.
Oh, okay.
But what happened is that I think the problem was that, and how I ended up teaching, that's what bring me to teaching, at E.D. Dalton James Community College. How I end up teaching with that is, you find that if some people don't have the book, in other words, what really happened that the teacher left the book.
Can't teach from the manual.
Can't teach without a book. No manual. Yeah.
Trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I went there and whenever I have Sharpies, so I have the chalk and the blackboard and I sit and start doing what I have to do. And I'll never forget it. One of the youth them is a woman, bigger than me. When they have come into college,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
no
man,
age.
everybody, anybody.
Everybody. Makes sense. I remember a lady come to me and say, sir, Mr. Nakal, Mr. I just feel weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lady could have been big and tell me mother
Yeah.
call me sir.
Yeah.
But I remember she said to me, she said, sir, all this time I'm here, just for a few 1 week, you're here teaching me. I learned so much. So I said, what do you mean? Because she said, me just say it as it is.
Right.
I'm just saying it as it is.
Yeah.
And that's how much, demonstrate everything on the board in terms of what
Very
sketching
practical,
myself.
you know
She
what
gets
it
it. You know what I mean? So that's why sometimes that a lot of people who doing skill training and stuff, it's always good. It's the best thing to have the theory, to know the theory of it.
Right, but the
But
practical
aspect of it
Yeah,
is
man.
definitely,
And
definitely.
And it's best to learn the practical
Exactly.
from somebody who knows it, somebody who's
From
done
a practical person.
So Carlton, you're at Edith Dalton now, you're teaching, right? How long you're teaching for 3 years, you said?
Yeah, they're 3 years.
3
That's
years.
not it's the community college,
Right.
not
Okay.
the high
Not
school.
the high
Not
school.
the school.
What's happening next?
After that, yeah, man. Because after that, I was just doing, I was just basically doing my own, sewing, for here and there and everywhere. You know what I mean? So it was just I was juggling both.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But so with all of that, you know what I mean? Family come in play. You get a youth and the things that happen. You know what I mean? So you turn man.
How old were you at this time?
Well, it's about me tell us I don't even know how old me is. Because
Even though.
yeah, I kind of catch up. And let me tell you why. Because you see, when for me, as I say, I remember I was going to call my line blank, and a virgin said to me one time, say, "You're mad if you call it blank for?"
Yeah.
What name you have? Mr. Carlton Brown. He said, "Use what them give."
Right, right.
And it's true. But let me that piece of paper. I must show you something quick. If you should look at my birth certificate now, this is what you're seeing.
Blank.
And it's 3 lines. See? Your date of birth, the parish, something else missing,
The nurse or the liver.
No, not even that, not there.
Nationality.
It's basically date of birth. Yeah, that's it. Date of birth and Kingston and St. Andrew, that's
Wow.
it. So that everything else is really unknown. So it's just by looking at that, looking at my life, I grew up and all these things, I must say, but that is why sometimes nothing can really faze me.
It's
You know what I
interesting.
mean? Yeah. I'll never forget. There's one quick something. There's one time I remember my girlfriend at the time, not my wife. Something was, I think what it was, something they done. Maybe if I sugar for what they give. And then she said, boy, no sugar. And I said, tomorrow.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, you mean?
Yeah.
So me, even a day or two, I'm going to come
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you would do that.
And that's me look on it. You know what I mean?
So Carlton, you said that you went to hire 50 women, 1 man. You got down 30 women, 1 man. Graduation, 100 women, 1 man. And then you said you were hustling stuff on the side and so on. Did you find that there was a demand from men for suits or for your services?
Fashion.
Or did you find yourself making more clothes for women?
Suppose-
That's one. That's part one of the question. And part two is, what was the struggle like being a man? Sewing. Yeah,
In
man
that
was supposed
space.
to sew me.
Yeah.
All right. In that time.
Let me tell you what I would have worked
manage
on. In the 90s, as we can call it, is that we just wear clothes. So real and truly, when I made a decision to sew for men, just go straight menswear, was, it's funny. But I don't want a woman in here to get mad, but I'm going to say it as it is. Is that I remember I was doing something for a lady. She came to me, with a, we get them work fabric and we bring for
Yeah,
them
man.
skirt and blouse and
Uniform.
take her measurement and everything and stuff. So she said she was going on leave to come back. When the lady come back, nothing can pass her hip. I said, yeah. This makes sense.
Yeah.
So I look up on the measurement and then, she gave it to me, so she's pregnant.
So what?
What? Then if you come to me, because you use a number,
Right.
you should come to me at 1 or 2 months pregnant.
Right.
And you go for 3 months. What do you think I go happen?
Yeah.
And you go grow up, and I go, come, it I come. You see the point I'm making?
Yeah.
And when that happened, I said, whatever. Go down the line now. I remember I did something for a lady. She said, like, take in here from me and bring them. I said, fine. I kid you not. I put it up and I forget about it.
Yeah.
When she come back, it's perfect.
Yeah? Never take it.
Wash me and clean. Because up to now, when I forget totally about that. And she said, it was perfect.
Yeah.
They want me to do. Me don't wash me and clean, and that was it. Straight menswear. Because it was just too much.
So you find women to be more picky than men when it comes to
picky everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
But maybe, what I got from your story is that craftsmanship, when you spend some time in the craft and then you want to put it on the canvas, for that canvas to change, it's probably disheartening for you. So maybe for a man,
But man can get fat.
It is easy
No,
because
man can
it
get
is
fat.
easy. Let me
Yeah,
tell you why.
true,
Because
but-
sometimes because it's easy. Because I just suits firm as well, right? And I will never forget, when I come the day and put on the suit and everything, and the waist kind of loose, I said, no, remember belt.
Immediately.
Remember belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because for some people, there's room for them brethren. We don't know what we're talking about. You know what I mean? There's some people know them just now carrying on. But to everybody different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just, okay. It's like you are, I mean, having the fabric is one.
Right.
It's really to design the fabric to fit a structure. Now there's small, medium, large. No pun intended. Jesus. Right? There's small, medium, large. There's no way I can use that small pattern or that small graph I did for him. Does it make sense?
Right.
So if every person has to be personalized, right? That's why I take measurements. Now the difference between going bespoke and ready to wear is that what some people don't realize, you know. So when you buy a jeans that says 32, it's not 32, you know.
Yeah.
It's really 33, 34.
Right. Right.
Why it's a 32, man?
The inseam.
It has to do with inseam one, but to me, I think it's just personally, I'm still doing that research. I think it's an international standard that they have.
And probably it's just a production kind of process.
To me, I just, because every time, no matter what jeans you find, it's very rare you say a jeans that says 30, that measures 30.
Even the skinny one, them no, even the ones them way.
Which is rare. Which I still trying to check it out, but I realize that every time there's a jeans and I measure it, when if it's a 32 is not, it's a 34 is not. So I realize it's just an international thing, to be honest.
Alright, so back to the timeline.
I'm not making give me a headache.
Back to the timeline. So you're there, you know, you're taking work clothes, make work clothes, all these things, little by little, and then was the next step London?
Well, London for me was, to be honest, is that when I went to London with, there's a group of us went there, you know, with Dwight Peters back in the earlys. And he said to me, I'm going to take it to a man called Andrew Amroop. And when I went there and stuff and, you know, met Andrew, you know, and he was looking at some of my work, and then, you know, what is it, there's a workspace in London. I mean, I was in heaven, basically. Never forget that. And you know, I remember he came back to Jamaica. He came down a few months after for an event, and he came to me and stuff. But I think the decision that I had to make was, do I go to London, leaving a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old? No, I couldn't. So the decision for me, I had to just make that decision. Just stay in Jamaica and do what I have to do. Because it would be, I mean, he really wanted me to say, you know, come to England, come to London, and, you know. But I couldn't, because going there, you're looking at least 9-10 years of training and getting it. That's what you're looking at. You know what I mean? Because based on what he said to me, that based on where I was, he said, no, I just need like 3 or 4 years. But even so, that was too much for me to leave my youth then.
So
for
you just hop in and hop out?
Yeah, it was just happy and happy, but I mean, he taught me a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, over the course of the time and over the years.
Yeah.
To this day. You know what I mean? Even funny enough, I spoke to him even 2 days ago. You know what I mean? But that decision was because of my 2 boys. I couldn't. You know what I mean? And I saw how I grew up. Seeing wanting to know, and I couldn't afford for my youth them come. I wonder where hell no. So that decision and sacrifice I made, and I don't regret it.
Okay.
I don't regret it.
I was going to ask you if you felt like it was a missed opportunity.
No. When it comes to you, there will never be a missed opportunity. Because you know why? Because all of my life it missed. You know what I mean? I can only sit back right now and thinking of, even where I grew up, I passed there the other day, and, you know, see the step, I run 6 Windsor Road, never forget out of Rockford. Because that's a home I grew up in. Like, honestly, I would say like 50 kids over, you know, a period of time. Right. Because how it works, you know, as you grow up and you turn, because when you turn 18,
matriculate, you go
out as new set come in. Yeah. And I've seen where a lot of, you know, youth and, you know, girls come in and go. And it's when I pass it there, them look upon it, and I say, then I realize if I'm sitting down, oh, the place just looks so. Yeah. But it's to show you that when you're youth, it looks. And I remember, because Sophia, this lady we know, Miss Rosa, fair granddaughter Sophia, she lived next door still there because she bought the house and everything. And I remember I said to her, I said, then who live over there? And she said, so I said, no, I want to sit up on the step.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I sat there and I said, damn. This is the step I sat on days and nights and everything.
Nostalgia.
Round the front, round the back. Ball, you want, can't go to the door. It's just crazy. You know what I mean? But when they stop, but I mean, I'm happy that happened because, you know, that's basically sitting there just shows growth. You know what I mean? But it was really a good feeling just looking back at all of that, you know?
Yeah.
But London in itself was fun, I must say, but that decision had to make.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Point along the timeline did the brand Carlton Brown become a staple in the fashion industry in Jamaica?
You know, it's fun. I think after doing some shows with and say what you're doing, because when and I remember there were 2 write-ups came out, one in the Star, the Gleaner, one in the Observer. I remember Nova McDonald White. The one that's in the Star wasn't, but the one in the Observer was okay, but not great. But I loved it, and that even I still have to this day frame it. I go and put it up big. And I remember the Observer called me. It's okay, no problem. I'm saying whatever. And 2-2 is the Observer. We come and sit at the gate, and lady come out, you know, fabulous as she is, Novia come out, and, you know. And I remember I will never forget it. She sat in the yard with me, right beside the 2 big stone. There's a fence. She hung the soup and I take the picture and everything. And I never forget, she said, Carlton, you're going to be a star. Those are her words.
Yeah.
And to this day, I respect that woman to the T.
Yeah.
Because all the while, but tell us about her. You know what I mean? But it just goes to show that when you have to just believe in what you're doing. And if she could have told me that you're not going anywhere, even though that wouldn't stop me. But as a mere fact, she saw my first collection and said, you're going to be a star. Because she saw something that I never see.
Right.
You know what I mean? And as you go along, you develop the craft and to make it better. But as I go along, I remember when my first celebrity I worked for, I did stuff for, was Bonnie Wheeler. The Bonnie Wheeler. And it's just a pity that you never have that phone something back in the day if you take 2 pictures.
You miss that opportunity.
The only thing I can do is research online to see if there's, you know, anything from those shows back in the day. You know what I mean?
Just to jump in though. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
as I said, the first celebrity was really Bonnie Wheeler.
Yeah.
And at that time I never had a label, I never have nothing, I do my thing.
You just make some clothes.
I make clothes. You know what I mean? But I think it's really doing fashion shows, the name really started to resonate, you know, with people and stuff, and then, you know, link with different celebrities here, different celebrities there and stuff. But I think when I saw my clothes on the Grammy red carpets for the first time, that was because of the Grammys, and the BET Awards, was the first.
Okay. Who wore it?
BET, when I dressed Kiba Magan and some other people there, so I dressed them for that. And, you know, just seeing those photos and, you know, seeing your clothes and the BT sign behind it, you can't chat to
So the question I had, just, you know, listening to the story and understanding where you are, what would have been your inspiration? What caused you to now become not just a tailor, not just a regular man with a little sewing machine, but now seeing yourself as a designer, like, it really styling?
Comes from, well, to be honest, that really comes from just one, loving it. And 2 is that you can give me, I can take this jacket, that t-shirt, and them 2 shirts that I have on. So me go home and come again, I can believe the same thing.
Right.
That is just called creativity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
so
really,
you just have that natural.
It's just natural. And that's why I always say, I remember, let me bring me back to when I was teaching, quick.
Right.
There were like 25 students in the class. So when I see all of them behave and operate, I said, this not make no sense. So I did one little exercise. It was so simple you wouldn't believe. I said to them, look here. If you're here because your granny sent you or your mother sent you, stand up over this. If you're here because you have nothing to do in your yard and this and that you want to come out, go over this. If you're here because you want to do it, stay in the middle. I'm saying, so the 6 hours, stay. The rest of them come with me.
Yeah.
Because, in other words, me doing all that with this, I waste my time. You see what I'm saying? So the 6 that has the love and the passion for it, let me focus there.
Right.
And so that I buck up to youth them, I would have said 3 years after.
26.
No man, not the 6. In the other set. Who are here dresser from? Who not? This time what's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you find that sometimes youth because them their home.
Yeah.
Go on, go
just do something.
Go for the army and try to get into the army.
Yeah.
And you love that.
Yeah.
But you just go because.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes it's really a waste of time. It may sound, but it's a real waste of time. You're going to teach 50 picnic.
Yeah.
Say me who not interested, have nothing to do the way you want.
Right.
Find out what they like, find out what they love.
Right.
And that's what happens. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. So real and true, that would have ended up to be a grand waste of time within 25 days. When I really 6 really need it. And that's what I did. And I remember when I did that, and the Reverend Cohen said to me, say, Carlton, my son, I said, Mr. My son, I would never have a clue that none of the. I'm say, yeah, because half of them there because.
Yeah, just because.
And listen now, you're talking about kids from the inner city.
Yeah.
Say me who not come from which lane, who not come from around a corner. That, you know what I mean? So there's so much distraction for them.
Harder to get them focused and settled and okay.
So your name there road now, and BET, nobody can talk to you.
You're the man.
It's by 75%. You mean? I'm about to your call time, I call you last week, and you say 5 grand or 15 grand. I said, no, did you see? Did you watch
Did you see? Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am? So, your team loud now, and more people are coming on, and from a standpoint where you're designing outfits, is it that you're taking on tailors to cut and help you, or you want to hand make everything yourself? You're not really include nobody.
No. There has to be inclusion, because if you don't have inclusion, you got pop down.
You're not going.
You know what I mean? But they really come back down to the guide of you're hiring 2 or 3 persons. It really comes back down to your guide, because you can't. In other words, then it's like what I mean. If I'm, let us say, I did this and I said, there's a 3-piece suit, the 10 of them outsourcing. So I give you 2, you get 2, you get 3, whatever the case is. I won't get the same thing.
Right.
I won't get the same thing because everybody works different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody quality and standard is totally different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that so that's a part of it. But it just because it really started me in the
Sorry, as you mentioned that, what would you say is the signature look and feel of a Carlton Brown?
It really comes back down. It comes down to the fit, to be honest, because the fit and fabric is so important. And it's like it's just a suit. I mean, a suit is like an NBA. That is why the NBA players today, and after a few years now, go bespoke.
Right.
Yeah.
Why? Because when they used to buy the suits off the rack, the shoulders are here.
Yeah.
To get that, to the sleeve there.
Yeah.
If you get the sleeve, and if you get the shoulder, the sleeve is here.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's no, and it goes for anybody who's really tough. Because even working for Usain Bolt, it's the same thing. I mean, he can't go in a store and buy off the rack. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you forget yourself,
Yeah.
he's a rugby player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So that's why that's why I find that a lot of people who is, in terms of tall and the athletes overall. Because once you're an athlete, in terms of where your shoulders get wide.
Yeah.
You can't grow because it's just the work
Right.
you put in to get strength. I mean, that's what happens.
The question I asked you earlier was a setup to ask you about pretty much like Carlton Brown offering some sort of masterclass. Not to the public, but how the tutorials happen on the inside. Because a lot of people, and it's a problem a lot of business owners make, they have a skill, they have a trade, and they want to keep all the money to themselves. And so they take on 1,000,000 jobs, but it's just them alone because they're so intertwined into the process to be that if I don't do it, no one else can. But what you've described is that you've taught people how to make suits or start the suit or get it to a point of your quality.
And as I said, that is one of the main things. And the thing is that it's just me, Fitzroy, Kirk, and DQ who work together right now at this point. But in all of that is that Kirk bring his skill to the table. Fitzy bring his skill to the table. DQ bring his skill set, and now here's mine. So there's 4 skill sets.
So it's a fusion, complementary, but still
everything.
your insignia,
Exactly. You end up with what you want from 3 other different perspectives. But at the end of the day, it's really your vision.
Love it.
Can I just set up a little?
So Carlton, we have a suit here. You started with the shoulders. You said it's a fit. Starts with the shoulders. Walk us through the suit. What makes it ideal?
Yeah, I mean, well, as I said, sometimes just by doing that, you separate, you take away. You know what I mean? Because you're seeing a suit. Once you add a pocket square to it, it adds something different.
Yeah.
Right.
So if I'm just doing this, if you should take away, bits and pieces from a suit, what do you have?
Just a black suit.
Yeah.
Just a black suit.
And just like that, it changes. You know what I mean? And at the same time, if you go, I'm just showing you something. So sometimes it just really depends on what you do with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just some simple.
No, simple for you. Simple for you.
Yeah. Because you already know how.
Simple for you. Even just how him, so yeah, just a flick.
Like, I'm going to on territory. Right, and I say, yo.
I watch a YouTube
Yeah,
video.
just simple for him. Yeah, like there's an art to it, but you've mastered
You've
it
mastered
so
it.
well.
Right, let me
it's like muscle memory for you.
Let me show you how simple it is. I can do that. Just do that. Let me show you something. Now move your hand.
Abracadabra.
See, you can take it. Look how see is that
Right.
done.
Wow.
Yeah, well,
Wow.
there it is. Yeah.
You see it? You see it?
No, but I wouldn't give you that. I would more do this.
Yes.
So this
See,
complement your
fit and
Watch
style and
watch your style now. Want to zoom
No, I have
in
to
on
get
it.
the
It don't work. Right. So Carlton, there's a guy watching this visual podcast now. Him don't know nothing about style. And he wants 5 tips. He has a graduation. He's graduating from you in November, and he wants your tips on selecting a suit. What are the tips that you would say to him?
It's funny. I've done so many graduations you wouldn't believe. But well, it's okay. First of all, sometimes when I said to them all the time, where you living from? I say law school. Okay, fine. If it's law school, you either go black or navy blue or
Right.
green.
Okay.
There's a guideline. There's a code.
Color code. Cool.
Right? Because what you don't want to do, you don't want to go buy a royal blue suit for your graduation.
yeah.
And then 2 weeks time you need to go to interview. You can't wear the royal blue suit.
Right.
See, I love. No, I want you guys
Some
to
practical
understand
tips.
Yeah.
the reality.
Yes.
Because somebody has a big occasion, them buy a burgundy suit.
Yeah.
Can't wear again.
I agree.
So tell us about the utility of having those dark shades or just those solid shade of suits
Well,
in your closet.
the utility of that is one, you can always wear it and it doesn't look the same.
Yeah.
Right?
Switch up a shirt. Switch
Yeah,
up a
you
pocket square or whatever.
You switch up a shirt, a pocket square. You can wear whichever different color pants you want to wear. But I think the mistake a lot of guys make is when they have a suit, they wear the pants every
Them
day.
kill the pants. A black pants become grey.
Yeah, them kill the pants.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, by the time I put by the jacket to it, are two different sizes.
Yeah.
So even today, to be honest with you, even some of my clients, who are big man in business, what I do is that I do a suit and extra pants.
I was about to ask you that because sometimes when a pants fit you well, you just
You're
right through. Like I said, this is it,
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's always, for me, sometimes it's always good even to have a 3-piece suit, and let me tell you why is that. You can do so much with it. One is, let us say for instance, you're going to an award ceremony, let me say so. Right? And you wear a 3-piece suit to the award ceremony. Whatever picture is taken, it is taken. That same suit you can wear 2 days after to a meeting. Just remove the vest, your shirt and tie, and you're back to it.
Utility.
You know what I mean? And let us say you have a Friday function.
Remove the
Remove the jacket. And you're gonna get.
Yeah.
All right, you know what I mean? So you can, there's 3 different events with the one suit you can do. And as you go along, it's really and truly, shirt and tie, is really brings it up all the time. But another key thing is that if you even have, because it's a 12 shirt, make sure 6 of those 12 shirts are white. 6 of them shirt there is white.
And that's a good advice. And I mean, I just jump in because I say, I like the styling thing too as well. And when you think about even how presidents operate, etc., that's generally what they do.
Yeah.
They have a lot of whites in their
white
closet
is,
and dark shades, and they always look fresh. But it's like you're saying, is it that they have 50 suit or is it that is really just
Because,
5, but
it's funny
let's
enough,
switch it up?
it's like I pay attention to a lot of different details. And the only president I see they switch it up on them wicked was Barack Obama.
Barack. No man.
Black man. Smooth.
Switch it up. And I remember when he wore that tan suit, it was
Yes,
one
yes,
big
yes,
excitement.
exactly.
Headlines.
But they love it.
Exactly.
Exactly. I just said, boy, I should always wear a pinstripe all the following. You know what I mean? But I guess it's just, and even with our prime minister, I see where he might kind of come out and look a shell.
Right,
In terms of us. But I mean, that's what's supposed to happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you're not old man, you're a young man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just and step out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Should we care though? Should men care about styling and why?
Of course you should. And it's important. And let me tell you why. In other words then, I'm coming to this interview. When I got a coffee interview, the first question I asked, I just read her call in our video.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Why? Once we made the video, I have to go do me here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do me here from Friday night.
Right.
You know, I'll have something down. I'm ready for this morning.
Yeah.
Here, whatever here.
Fear enough.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you wear a suit the way ever.
Yeah, man.
Must.
Everything you wear is a
Fresh.
So
Yeah.
I asked because if I go back to, and I'm relatively young, but if I go back to like the early 2000s, men never really business mode. Them look, them just throwing a pants, throwing a shirt.
No, that's what I'm saying to you.
But
Here is zero. That's what I said to you back then.
And
You just
then
wear
now-
clothes.
Right.
But
I mean,
I'm going to think they never business.
Well,
it's just what?
fashion
Yeah,
just different.
at the time.
It was different. Yeah, it was different. And let me tell you something. When I look back photos were me in a pack of jeans.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Okay, now you couldn't tell me nothing.
It's
Full shirt, big off for you.
I look for some pants and there got high school, I mean,
Yeah, man.
pants big.
Yeah, man.
So me I say, them time they have big pants have to drop over
Bell
your
foot.
shoes and
Yeah, and
when me na six farm,
Bell-
I
yeah,
boot
man.
cut
Yeah,
your pants
man.
off his face.
Yeah,
So,
man.
you
Yeah,
know
man.
me I say, yo, I
Yeah.
never wear that.
But the thing about it, it's back.
Right. It's back.
It's
back.
You still now go back.
I can tell you, it's going to be a very difficult transition.
Yeah.
Why you say that though? Because, and importantly, you said that fashion would have transitioned over periods. We all know. So what would have been 98 fashion is not 2008, it's not 2018.
Yeah.
Why is it difficult to transition now back to older
because
fashion?
it's a come back to comfort,
Okay.
right? It's like when a man in a comfort zone, you can't take him out of it.
True.
Something that just happen drastically, say, boy, you know, I choose for change.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So right now, man, and I'm fitted and skinny jeans. It's kind of difficult if you put him back there, so.
Right.
See, and really and truly,
That's where people like you come in, man.
yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, I know, but what I'm saying to you is that it's difficult for you, if you're taking back out of that, but at the same time, it's not hard to try.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just try it one time if it works. If it don't work, I'll stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because for me not tall.
Yeah.
So for me, in a barefoot pants, what do you think I got?
Look away.
My point.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to look like you add pounds and
When
you're really not.
you know what I mean? But as overall, styling in itself though is key. It's like, and color palette is important.
Yeah. Talk to us about
Right?
that. So, pairing colors.
Color palette. What you have on works, right? But with this one color palette you can have 6 different shoes and still work.
Still work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It can still work. And look on this now. Sometimes it's not because you have on something named red, you have to throw a piece of something red. Me not throw it on you, but that's what I'm saying. Now, your shoes in itself, it works.
Yeah.
See? So people can say, oh, because him have the red on the shoes, him put on the red lapel. Not necessarily.
But you know, so really and truly, I can't have the red pan this and wear the red shoes. As in, big man thing, big man thing. Come in and wear black shoes and I say, no, keep on wear white shoes. Come in and wear white shoes. So I say, alright, next thing I have to wear red, come in and wear red. Yeah, so no. So talk to me about no. Me not wrong for that.
No, nothing wrong with that. But sometimes when you do it, it's like you're trying too hard.
Yeah.
So let's say that on that on a red belt. You see me?
Yeah.
And then a red watch and
Too much. That's too much.
because less is more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I guarantee you, after this interview, him can take out the corduroy shirt and I go to say, so where you go home? No,
Yeah.
you never go home.
Yeah.
Because people don't notice the inner layer. It's just the outer layers.
So where do you learn that? Where do you learn how to work with palettes and understand this thing?
Well, that comes with experience. It really comes with experience over time.
So for a youth watching, a youth who say, yeah man, I'm stylish, you know.
For me.
Well, all right, there you go.
For me, we're there, so right now.
Or even those who think them know it,
Yeah.
but them don't know it because there you go. You have a lot of people who think they know fashion and this is what works. And
You can just say me, you know, if you're talking like don't say me, bro.
It's as simple as this: is that the fabrics, in other words, then sometimes, I mean, I'm not too detailed, but I will look at that funeral and said, "Oh yeah, hell, if we were to go on funeral, you know what I mean? This hell of a sequin jacket and holy boot coming." And yeah, I look at these little things, you know what I mean?
Right.
But sometimes it's not like the person don't know better.
Yeah.
Them just can't help it.
Yeah.
Right.
Cause what them have.
right, right.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's what they have, you know. So you can't tell them, I say, you can't wear that, man, go buy this, so and so. They don't have it.
Yeah.
So what them have to wear. So in other words then, it's like you like barrel come. See? And you wear everything in the barrel.
Yeah.
One time. Like you have 3-4 more days to put on clothes.
Right.
That's true. So Carlton, one of the things I always tell, you know, people is that, or men who say, "Yo, brother, you know, we can get clothes or whatever." I sometimes tell them, and you can let me know if this is bad advice or not. I tell them that, you know, sometimes copy and paste, right? You go on Carlton's page and you see Carlton in a dark blue suit, and then pair it with a yellow shirt and a black pants or a brown shoes. Try it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So if you seem to that, try it and see how it looks for you. And then over time you learn how to pair colors, you learn what you're comfortable with.
And you're right. Nothing is wrong with cut and paste because that's the reason why you have fashion magazines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Precisely.
That's why they're there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get ideas, to get different concepts, you know, and things. But it works because I use that's the reason why I buy GQ back in the day and I still buy GQ today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you have to know what is happening.
Right.
And that's the same
The
reason why
trends and so on.
we watch fashion shows. It's the same reason why it's just like there's Valentina showed this, you know, I mean, hot couture line last 2 nights ago. See me? I was blown away.
Right.
You know what I mean? But even though it's for women, I see a lot of stuff in that I can translate for men.
Yes. You
You know what I mean? And the color palettes and all these things you see, and the different silhouettes, it works. You know, so that's the reason why you walk in a pharmacy or a bookstore and run through these magazines and say, "Oh yeah, that's good." You know what I mean? Even though you have some people though, to be honest with you, if them see in the book, I dot them out.
Specific.
Some people you can't put them in a room with one heap of clothes.
Yeah.
And say, "Come out looking for
They don't know how to
It
do
not go out.
Yeah, that's true.
And we have some people, you know, matter we show them come out
Flying.
flying. You know what I mean? So it's not for everybody, but at the same time, there's room to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So my advice for the young youth them, if you go buy jeans and stuff, it's good to have a little cutout pants or whatever the case is. But keep it solid.
Solid.
Nothing wrong with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the solid jeans you have can take you to any board meeting.
True.
Yeah.
Any interview. See me, a solid blue jeans, black jeans, whatever it can take in an interview. See me? As long as it's in the past, you're hip and I go down there, so.
Carlton, we need to have white shoes in my closet with glass. Do I need to have a pair of white shoes?
Yeah, well, there's white shoes and there's white shoes.
Pair of white sneakers. We need to have one.
There. So even something like this, that's without any color on it, is perfect.
Versatile.
Nice court low.
You can do a whole
I plan to
lot.
buy one white Air Force. That can work already.
Well, a
Air
white
Force
for
full
what
sneakers.
purpose?
The white Air Force is really where you're going.
Yeah.
And how often you want to wear it.
Right.
Seeing? Because
In a versatile like.
it's not as versatile as a you know one of them you know Puma looking you know what I mean Puma
Court low,
Lacoste,
yes.
you know
Lacoste,
Right.
it is not as clean as those.
So I think one of the fundamental things Carlton keeps stressing is the solids. Solids, they're your friends, guys. Like a solid white, a solid black, a solid blue, just solid colors. You can the versatility of
Yeah, you
solid
can't do so much with it.
You can do so
Nothing
much.
is wrong in showing in a pinstripe pants or a plaid pants.
Yeah.
Again. But you don't go.
But if I want pants, you have neck like
can't be
Can't be a
Can't be a pinstripe. Can't be a plaid pants.
So in building your closet up, start with the solids.
Yeah, but you start with the solids and as it go along,
Yeah.
You throw in
you
a
add colors.
stripe, you're throwing a
Exactly.
pattern there, you know?
But what I hear again between Kingsley and Burns and Carlton is learning how to care for these things.
Yeah.
The caring aspect is this. It's not number one. It's not every time you wear your pants or a suit, you throw it in the washing machine. First of all, you don't
I'm
throw
so
your
happy
dress.
you said it. I'm so happy you said it.
Right.
No, people believe so when you as you wear a pants, you go wash it.
No, brother.
Me and my girlfriend at the time, my wife, no war about that something. Cause me have a black jeans, you know.
Yeah.
2 years in a wash, you know why? Because wash Fabrice trip and go and sit down there.
Yeah.
Fresh again.
Right.
See, as long as but the problem is that let me tell you the problem with all of those clothes sometimes. So when you live up in the Stony Hill and then place
mold, it get cold.
And that's the problem.
So you need to air it out. You need to
air it out.
Yeah.
On the line.
On the line, man, make some beat it.
No weird,
man.
no weird every day and come to one.
No.
I guarantee you.
Line it out.
I guarantee you wash your pants and now you did have a black pants.
Yeah, you did.
You had a black jeans.
Right.
No. I
Right,
agree because-
and that is one too. Another thing too is that I've seen guys where let me a phone here. Quick, Mr. Show you something. Then I go out and
yeah.
Cologne. But again, it's the etiquette. Them don't know. Because they want fresh.
Right?
Yes.
the thing for me is
I'm done.
Yeah, I don't put fragrance on my clothes in.
Yeah.
I put the fragrance on my body.
Right.
Which is where it should be.
Exactly.
That's where it should be.
And
You know
the
what I mean?
pressure
And
points
sometimes I don't think I walk in. You know what I mean? I spray and
Put it
walk
on
in.
I just walk in.
Yeah.
No, but I give you that joke.
Because they want fresh. They want everybody smell them. They want this.
Because for
They
me, you know,
don't understand.
what I do sometimes, to be honest, I mean, as I said, I do so 2 times I walk in.
I walk into it.
See,
You
see,
spray it up and
yeah,
just
so
run
you
in.
just get the mist of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it, wipe out your and all that. You know what I mean? So anyway, drop it.
Right.
So I give you a joke. I was at Wendy's the other day and this guy had a nice white shirt, you know. And when you look on the
Tell me, you can see this spot there.
You can really
I'm pretty sure he has a Dolce & Gabbana, the one, the brown one.
Yeah.
And that one
You
never
just see
right
the
now.
spots them all around. The only place I didn't see spots, and I'm back.
Yeah.
And let me
Everywhere.
tell you what the sad thing about that. That shirt that
Mash
dead.
up.
Them. No amount of bleach.
That
can
dead
restore
because they whatever oils they use to put the fragrance together, that can't come out.
Lucky.
Can't come out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me is sometimes I do this. Even when I do that, I just go sit on my hand.
I just, Carlton. Carlton.
I simple something. See me? So even Miss Agra, I say, how you doing? She don't get it.
Yeah.
So me don't even go no further.
So I tell my brethren, invest in an expensive cologne where you can buy cheap and clean clothes if you're building a closet.
Yeah.
Right? So if you have an expensive cologne, let's say you spend like 150 US on a cologne.
And stop
right?
it.
Or even
Stop
cheaper
this.
than that.
It's not for me expensive.
Yeah.
You just need a good fragrance.
Right.
A good fragrance.
Good fragrance.
And then you just do a little spots.
Yeah.
You know,
You don't need
sensory
expensive
spots.
Yeah, man, the pressure and the pressure points. But
And you're done.
But hold on though, again, just going into learning even what is happening. You have to learn what works with you, what works with your own body. So you might smell the Dolce & Gabbana and
But it's
say,
not for you.
This is me.
No.
But when you try to say, oh, now I get the kick where everybody I get, where Burns I get, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. One day I do and come link me and I do and I reason.
Stanford.
I do a reason and thing. I'm saying, I know that smell you know.
Yeah.
I know that smell. I'm going and I say, but I have it, man. Come here and look. And at the time, what he did, see, he was blend too. And him just laugh. I said, no, Didi, man. I know that smell. I know. Because one overpower the next, but the two of them compliment each other.
Aircraft, take off.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, man. It's like, I call him 2 days and I say, yo, I know what you do.
You know where you're going.
See me? And it was Chanel and
Tom Ford?
No, 212.
Oh,
Yeah.
212.
Yeah.
And them two they merged. You know what I mean?
So that's the thing. Like I tell like the man them watch the YouTube videos, whatever. Go down
Learn
visual.
the thing, man. Learn the thing.
Like learn the thing
Yeah, man.
because Cartel say Clarks. I don't as a Tom Ford, you just buy the two of them and just wear them.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You have a graduation, you have beat all like desert. I say, no, my G.
And it's
No,
funny
they
enough.
can beat
It's
that.
funny
It's
enough.
a
It's
nice
funny. The
suit,
funny
you
thing
know.
you should say about Tom
It's how you
Ford.
style it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Ford is that I like the fragrance, but it's not every one of them is for me.
No.
That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
you know have to know
Because
what
him have a line of them that like pimento. They'll have
Right,
that
peppermint, right.
None of my something that.
I like cool
Sandalwood.
and woody fragrance.
Sandalwood.
That works for me.
Yeah.
Right? So go down a bijou. You know, you can spray every cologne in a bijou because they are supposed to do that. You go to them, you spray something.
That's true.
Them for tired,
Make them,
teach me something.
let them spray 2 points.
Hey, don't forget you. Back in the day when you can't afford certain things. So
Yeah.
we used to go like in a pharmacy and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I test the sample. Some test the sample. Even before that, you know, you get the magazine this side. The magazine will come with the cologne sample.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Report that page, man. You can't talk to me. Yeah, but I said you said because
that's why you hack it.
yeah, I say hack it. I mean, you want it, but you can't afford it.
Yeah, man.
But it's in front of you. There's tear to leaf.
Listen, I got some Chanel blue samples. Like I was in New York. I couldn't afford the Chanel, but I got the
Macy's?
sample. Macy's. I'm gonna get around 12 of them, and I rinse them for a year. Just
Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're saying. I know
that's
exactly
it.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
done. Rinse them for a year. So gentlemen, invest in the solids, like
Yeah, man.
Carlton said.
Invest in a cologne.
Invest in the cologne, haircut, all of these things.
Learn how to take care of your stuff too.
Yes,
Because you may just
Grooming is
investing and then it's going down the drain. It's a wasted investment.
true.
Yeah,
So
because
you
the
have
thing
this
is, you know,
nice suit
in
from
order-
Carlton
yeah,
and then
and then go wash up.
you just mess it up.
Yeah, and the thing is, as I say, it's not every time you wear a suit you go clean it. No.
There you go.
Right? And once you keep up with the colognes from it, it will serve.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you can't put Chanel on this and then two you gotta put on Tom Ford. What do you think will happen? It will go frown.
Yeah.
I must remember that when you wear something, your actual body heat push off.
Right, right.
Yes.
That, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So you gotta send a problem. That's why sometimes you see some people pass here. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I like 6 layer different cologne from the one
Yeah,
jacket.
exactly.
Say you got frowns.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And as I say, if you start with the solids, but as you go along, you just build. You know what I mean? You build and you build and you build. Right? And so, I mean, having the black, the navy blue, and the charcoal grey, you can't miss.
Can't go wrong.
You
Yeah,
can't
that
miss
black,
with those.
navy blue, charcoal.
You can't miss with
go
those.
wrong.
Those three you can't miss. Right? And with those three, you just, as I said, no matter what you want, you have to have a white shirt in your closet.
Several.
Right? Yeah, no, for a start.
Yeah, oh,
Have
fast
to.
start.
You know what I mean? As you go along, you're always buying a white shirt.
What about
Can't
black shirts? That's
No, black, no, nothing is wrong. No. Black shirt is good as well.
Yeah, man. Solids, man.
Solids.
Black,
Yeah, I mean,
white,
you got the white, the
charcoal.
black, the charcoal, you got your navy blue.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a red or burgundy, but as I say, you keep it, the mutual color is what is important.
Yes.
Because those are the colors that can go anywhere.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Another thing is that I love watches, but it's not every woman I'm going to throw on one.
Yeah. You know, I know what you know. Yeah.
Because I just feel a look at the sniff of the
Yeah, clean.
You know what I mean? Because what happened is that to me, if I put on a watch, then I put on this and that, I think it's taken away from the suit itself. See? So what for me is that my glasses are I'm done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So the accessories now, you need to learn how to
Yeah.
You have
blend
to know how to
those.
blend accessories.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm happy Carlton said it because I'm wearing bracelets and watch and whatever because I can't put on something like this and not have on the watch because I
feels
found
empty.
that my style, more put on a watch, more put on a bracelet, more put on an earring or whatever. So it's what works for you. Carlton likes clean, sometimes we miss on a watch
Minimalist,
or
but
not
clean.
minimalist. Owen here just have on a one watch here, no bracelet. Burns now have on a watch.
You know, somebody want like a bracelet, something, and you know, wear it.
And by the way, I tell you,
No.
I am a bracelet person too, you know, it's just that you learn
Different
when,
things.
where, how. So
Exactly.
you can't just, of course we're
Exactly.
looking at signature styles.
Yes. Mhm.
So you want to know this is your signature look and feel. But you must also know how to switch it up.
Yeah, there's no for switch it up.
You know,
I mean,
and I think a lot of young men right now don't know how to switch
they don't know how to switch it
So
up.
it's one dimensional.
Because a lot of, not only young men, big man too.
Yeah, that's true.
Saying is that when it cut in there, you're cutting it. You
Yeah,
can't
stuck.
get out. You're stuck there. You know what I mean? So it is really sometimes difficult. Even some man come to me and say, well, I can't suit but I want you to give me pants, daddy.
I want you give me
But
That's what me used to tell me I go to Taylor.
Specific.
Yo, me need it fit.
Yeah.
Yo,
and at the same time, which
why-
nothing is wrong with that. You,
Right.
you have to give somebody, you know, what they're comfortable with.
Right.
But it's really on you, the designer, the creative mind, to say, no, try this.
Yes.
This can work.
Since we're right here,
And you
so,
introduce things as you go along.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what I do.
what I want to ask is, would you ever go into making ready-to-wear suits?
Of course, that's I'm on that
Journey.
path
Right now. So me can just come and just look and
Off the rack?
and
Off the rack, yeah.
off the rack and buy a suit.
Yeah.
A nice suit.
Because that's important because not everybody can afford,
Yeah.
you know, bespoke suits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But would it be designed in such a way that you, same one, can still make it?
Yeah, man. Because it really come back down to the cut. I mean, because there is a cut, you know. Because in other words, then it doesn't matter where you buy a Puma, you're getting the same fit.
Right.
Because it really come down to the cut and design.
Right.
That's where it starts. So that don't change really, to be honest.
But what I hear is that a couple of the designers them need to learn the craft too. Because when you see certain cuts now from who are considered designer, it don't look good either.
No.
Man just say them a designer.
Right.
You can't say me a designer. As a matter of fact, I change my Instagram bio. I'm say Melbourne Douglas.
Design.
You understand? Give me thing a name and say you are me that. And of course, me a designer. Once name bio,
Right.
I still don't know what it is.
And a two-line for one t-shirt.
You understand what I say?
Because you mentioned the cut again. I mean, not every designer, not every tailor know how to cut to fit.
It's true.
You know what I mean? It's now you're a tailor.
Yeah.
It's true. You know what I mean? Because you see, let me tell you something. You see, taking measurements, you know what I mean, is a key component to everything. It's taking a measurement. It's like, it's funny enough, you know, when I was doing a suit for him, based on the timeline.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say take the measurement January. Based on his work schedule, he couldn't reach him back until like March.
Yeah.
When him come for fit, had to retake his measurements. Because to make sure he put on or take off.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then another 2 months pass, I'm going to see him again. But still I don't matter, but I still have to ensure that the measurements were still correct. You know what I mean? Because yeah, man, it done. Let him take it up, yes, so big and that wouldn't make any sense. You know, so it's that one I want to make sure that you get your right fit. And the suit really starts from the shoulders. Yeah. That's where it starts.
Before we wrap up, with shoes, talk about the socks part.
Well, socks, I mean, I love socks, but I'm not a lover of socks.
Yeah.
By the way, I have on socks, you know.
Oh, when I look at me, I realize me think nobody.
No, I have on
it's the
socks.
low cut ones.
I have on socks, but you have different, again, learning.
Me talk socks for sure, me not talk socks for bad man.
Oh, no, man, because when you say socks, you know, you have low cut, you have ankle socks.
There you go. You know what I mean? So you have to know what works when.
Yeah. But as me say, nobody not see your socks are not part of the fashion, because you're gonna see it.
But there you go.
In a sense.
No,
There you go.
But I mean, you would never wear socks with this look.
Well, that's me ask. Remember, me on the fashion.
In other words, then, if you come in with a baby socks, you can't interview me.
No, trouble. You're mad trouble. I tell you something.
Yeah, who would not tell you to take it off? We would not tell you to say, hey, this cannot work, you know. This, cut.
In other words, then it's like I'm coming here to talk about fashion and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm coming on a piece of slippers and a T-up shirt. Oh, no, for dress.
No, your credibility immediately.
Yeah,
Gone. Yeah.
But in terms of shoes, though, it's always good to us. I mean, that is what you invest in. You spend the money there, sir.
Yeah, man.
If you want short change on your pants or your shirt or whatever the case is, don't
Not
short
your
change on your
shoes.
shoes.
Yeah.
Because a good pair of leather shoes goes
Can't go wrong.
far.
Yeah.
What if I tell you that I have these shoes like more than 3 years?
I have some clothes from way around.
But getting genuine leather in terms of shoes is so important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Honest, when you buy the synthetic ones and you wear them 2 times,
They
and
gone.
you park it,
Strip.
but you take it back again, it's
Yeah,
stripped,
man.
it's done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With leather, it never.
And don't make it left your road, eh? Talk about that.
You know. But in terms of shoes, invest in that. You know, stick to a genuine leather pair of shoes. Where you start out with the black, you keep it because the black can go everywhere.
Yeah.
And as you buy again, you try to get a brown. You know what I mean?
Right.
And when you try to buy again, you get a next black.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? A different look, a different cut, because you have to keep it fresh at all times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In terms of socks though, socks it varies, but it depends on where you're going, what you want to do. You keep them, you can keep it solid, stripe, circle, whatever you want to do it, but it all depends on where you're going. No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It really comes back to the look you're going for.
Yeah.
You see where I come from? So the socks varies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
So with the Happy Socks era, are we past that era or are we still
not
in that
really.
space?
It is there, but it's not in your face like one time. But it's still there.
It was in your face, man.
Yeah,
pretty
pretty.
systematic,
But what I find is the fashion now. You find men wearing them and them ankles up, and so you see the socks from a mile out, and you say, well,
and that really come back down to each individual making their own statements.
okay,
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I don't wear socks in my suits anymore.
straight.
I don't anymore
No.
either. And I was a part of the Happy Socks phase.
You wear a Happy
Yeah,
Socks
man.
up.
And then
Happy socks.
I grew out of it.
Yeah.
So the other
Why
day,
you grow out of it though?
I guess you
just
style, just
And for me, it is too enough.
Yeah.
No, it was too much. After,
I'm gonna feel away if I go somewhere and put on my foot 3 man and I see.
yeah. When I went back to the photos, I said, we don't wear them socks. The other day, Carlton, I'm hosting a show and I have on a tux, bow tie and everything, and I have on that exact shoes I have on. Well,
Yeah.
maybe not exact shoes,
No.
but exactly like that. It's a pattern leather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them call them
And
Akisi, but yeah, pattern.
no socks. No socks.
Yeah.
And that's my style now. If I'm to go anywhere, I'm going to
And
wear
the same
my
show with
suit.
it.
Same show with them.
And we're not a pair of socks with this. You're
No,
mad.
no, you kill it. You
No.
kill it.
No,
You kill
it's
it.
madness.
You kill it.
Oh, and grown up people, for the talks about all that, remember, when they now wear socks, lotion your foot.
Yeah, exactly.
If you now lotion your foot, you better you wear socks.
By the way,
Better
get your manicure and pedicure them up too.
Yeah.
That is
That's
important.
That's important.
Yeah.
It's not. It's a grooming. A lot of people believe, boy. When them say them girlfriend, your wife, go do them hair and go do them nails. All right, now go down the road with him.
Yeah.
Go
Go
down
to.
there too.
Yeah,
Go
follow.
with her.
Follow.
You have to go where she
Hook up
go.
Yeah,
with
follow.
her.
That is you have to go where she go. She
Right,
have a place to
right,
go.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? But you have salons and men and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it works. It works.
Why?
Have a proper conversation. I think we need more than an hour for talk.
More than
I think there should be layers. Yeah.
Understand what we're going
Because really and truly, like the suit, there are levels to it.
Yeah, there are levels.
There are levels to it.
And crowd of people, they use them where I listen, they use them where I watch, they use them where I tune in. Remember, fashion is not just about clothes. You
Yeah.
understand? We talk about cologne, we talk about hair,
Grooming.
Carlton beard, him a be like a white, right?
Yeah, in between. Like,
One thing neat, you understand? Die.
Yeah, you can do it every one. And another thing that is so important is your personality.
That's a part of the fashion too.
Yeah.
That's a part of it.
Yeah.
Because you can't dress from head to toe, pussfoot. If you have the wrong personality, the wrong
Yeah.
energy, just
That's true.
Because you wear clothes and
Yeah.
clothes wear you.
Yeah.
Because you can put on exactly what Carlton has on
And it
now,
don't feel
and it don't look the same.
You don't have the same
quick.
impact.
Look right there, so. No make no sense.
Don't look right
No
here.
make
sir.
no
Don't
sense.
look right here.
Yeah, too much is happening.
That no make no sense.
No, a lot is happening in
There
the
we
world.
Bow tie and stripes. Yes.
Them I know him too. But that joke thing that.
But he never link you. He
That
never link you. He never link Carlton.
that don't make sense. You know what I mean? The bow tie need to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't need the pocket square there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. Because just the stripes and the jacket alone.
Yeah.
Alright, so Carlton, he's wrapping up. He's wrapping up.
Hold on, let me put the camera over there. So.
What would you say to a young man right now who's interested in getting into the fashion industry, in designing, but maybe feel a little bit intimidated?
The most important thing for that is you have to love and have a passion for it.
Yeah.
Why I say that is that a lot of guys come up within, that stretch of shows that happen, jumping it because of the hype.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, boy, once you come on ER, you come on stage, you reach. You're not reaching away.
Yeah.
Because it's really when the lights are off. In other words, then it's so important. When the lights are turned off, I work, not gonna work.
You're right.
Yeah.
Back to the
So it's
lab.
really when the lights are off, that's when the work starts.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to have a love and a passion for it. You know what I mean? And try to if you love it to the point where you want to be involved, walk in fabric stores. Just look. You know what I mean? Just by
Explore.
looking, let's look at fabrics. I mean,
Immerse
you can
yourself in
you can
fashion.
pick up because just from this photo right behind us, you know what I mean, I can create a collection from that, just on
Yeah.
this subtle color palette. It works. You know what I mean? So it's just like you can see things from different angles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it works. You know what I mean? But you have to have a love for it. And my advice is just go at it, but make sure say you have a passion for it. Because once you're in a little slum, feel like you want to do it, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
What about the professional training? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, but
Do you
go
add
to-
that to it? Or so yeah, I love
No,
it.
but you have
so yeah, I
no,
love it.
Yeah, but
I'm immersed, but I just can't get beyond this glass ceiling that exists.
well, and that's where school school is important because I know a girl right now. She's doing it, but she learned it from YouTube. You know what I mean? But to me, nothing beats that one-on-one sitting in front of we don't want to be a tutor, somebody who is hands-on to teach you the craft and make you know certain things. So
you
my
provide
thing
those.
is- Well, funny enough, it's funny she said because I met with Andrew, the Prime Minister, a few years.
Oh, the honorable.
Yeah. Bro, God. Andrew, you're busy. I call him and I say, Tony. But yeah, I spoke to him and stuff, and that's a part of what I want to do because I want to give back in terms of where hard because that's where I'm coming from.
Building the industry.
You know what I mean? And I got from that, so it was to me. I think it's important for me to give back to that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just like with my foundation is really my foundation I'm putting together now is to give back to foster care.
Right.
Because the name of it is called A Machine in Every Home.
Nice.
And it's because of that machine in that home.
Yeah.
That you are.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
You know what I mean? So it was just for me to get, so that's what I want to give back. At least every quarter, every 6 months, giving a machine to each home.
Yeah.
And giving scraps and fabric and, little thing, that's pang pang. That's me do.
Pang pang. Pang pang.
And that's another tagline.
Yes,
Pang pang. Pang pang.
So there you have it, crowd of people.
But go school. Try to get in a class and get it done.
The family man, Mr. Carlton Brown, said, tune in, you understand, every Sunday, 12 noon, ShopTalkJa at buzzsprout.com. You know the thing go. This was ShopTalk. And we usually say fireful. Fireful. So this was
so is it okay? I mean, because I don't know his Instagram, I don't know your one, I don't know your one. So it's okay to say what your Instagram is or what?
Oh, yeah, sure.
I don't know more.
No, again, people need to reach out. They know how to reach out, but they need.
Yeah, I mean, if once I give it's Carlton TT Brown.
Yeah.
That's my Instagram. So once you go on that, I mean, all information to reach me is right there.
So Carlton TT Brown.
Triple T,
Instagram.
TTT.
TTT actually. It's a T.
Actually, it was 2 T's. But my daughter came in place.
Yeah.
So the T them stop right. That's it. Not more than that.
Cool.
So it's really Carlton Triple T Brown at that's
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
all of
everywhere.
them, yeah.
Alright? Crowd of people. So follow up. This was Shop Talk.
Fireful.
Fire.
Go on again.
Crowd of people. This was Shop Talk. Fireful.